want to talk about the past and the role it plays in everything. And the concept I'm introducing is a very triggering concept to the character, to the ego, to the sense of self, to the story of me. Because we believe we are defined by our past. We believe the past is a teacher, which it is. But we also believe that our experiences make us who we are. That is somewhat true, but it's also restrictive. And that idea itself, that our experiences make us who we are, that is the idea, that is the belief that is keeping us stuck. This idea of being stuck. I feel stuck. This is what as a mindset coach, if someone is going to get to a point in their life where they're working with a coach, it's because they feel stuck. And what that actually means is I'm stuck in a way that I can't comprehend. I'm obviously not physically stuck because I can walk around freely. But I feel stuck in something. I feel trapped. Stuck and trapped. Both of which are constructs of mind. And I don't want to dismiss anyone, and I don't want to make light of anything. Or rather, I don't want to. This doesn't. That's not an intent. When I say it's a construct of mind, this is the greatest opportunity ever to understand that. That's not to dismiss it. That's not to say it's all in your mind, therefore ignore it. What I'm actually saying is, when you understand, when you truly understand that it's all in your mind and what that means, what the opportunity is in understanding that and leveraging it, that is liberation. That is freedom. Because it's freedom from the feeling, freedom from the illusion of being stuck. Freedom from the illusion of being trapped. And what it is, so the obvious question, what is it that I am trapped in? Or trapped by? Yeah. And the answer, you are trapped inside your own paradigm. You are trapped inside your own prism of beliefs. Prism with an M, mama. Mike. Prism. But it is a prison as well. November. So if you feel stuck, that is wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful, because what that's pointing to is an acknowledgement on a deeper level or a higher level, an acknowledgement that your character, the character you've built, the person you've become, is out of alignment with your true nature, which is just awareness, just consciousness, just truth, just presence, just source, just love, just God. It doesn't matter what you call it. We all have the same energy at our core. At your core, at your very core, you are spiritual perfection. Every baby is spiritual perfection. And anything else layered on top of there is a story. At your core, you are pure awareness. You are the ever-present observer. And there's layers and layers on top of pure awareness. Peace, bliss, oneness. But we all have it in us. And it's right here. We don't have to go anywhere. It's the source of your experience. It's the source of your being. It's the solar plexus, the soul place. It's the source of the human torus field. The auric field. So feeling stuck, the only way you could possibly be stuck is by putting limitations, boundaries, dimensions onto pure awareness. Trying to put a prism of beliefs around pure awareness in order to navigate the world. Except you don't need to, because the world is 3D. You don't need to. The body navigates the world. The body navigates the world perfectly, and it does it without you. It doesn't need your beliefs. Your beliefs aren't adding anything. Your beliefs are just complicating everything. We don't need beliefs to experience a sunset. We don't need beliefs to taste a strawberry. We don't need beliefs to look into someone's eyes and feel them. In fact, if two people meet each other without knowing anything about each other, and without saying anything, and without thinking anything, and without applying any beliefs or any judgment, and they just meet each other, they're both meeting each other where they are, which is as pure awareness. So that's the base layer. That is who we are, that is what we are. The ever-present observer. And here's a concept. Okay, but this goes against time. So we're given the linear timeline belief. But experientially, we've never experienced the past and we've never experienced the future. We just haven't. It's impossible to experience the past. You can recall a memory, but you're doing it right now. And you can plan for the future, but you're doing it right now. So you can replay the past in your mind right now, and you can hypothesize on the future in your mind right now. But both of those things are happening right now, and this right now is all there is. It's the only thing you've ever experienced. It's the only thing you ever could experience. It's the only thing you ever will experience. This, here, now. You here now. I am. It's the ever-present observer. So you are the ever-present observer. And the reality, which you observe through the body, is ever-changing. but that doesn't mean that you're moving along a linear timeline. So consider this. When you were 5 years old, your 5th birthday party, you were a child. You were in a child's body, and you had a child's set of beliefs. You had whatever beliefs had been embedded into you by that point. So you probably, at that point, as a 5-year-old, you probably believed in dinosaurs, space, pirates, you didn't have all these other beliefs that you have now about I don't know, whatever beliefs you accumulate as you grow. Things about politics and religion and division and separation and strong opinions and division and separation. But the point of this is to point out that the ever-present observer, the one who was you of 5 years old, the observer, the one who experienced your 5th birthday party, underneath the beliefs, the actual observer, the experiencer through the 5 senses hasn't changed. It's still the same 5 senses. You still take the information in the same way. You just had less of a prison of beliefs to experience it through. So it was less filtered. It was probably a purer experience. But the point is, the observer, the nature of the observer, the ever-present awareness, consciousness, source, is unchanged. It's always just been you here now. And the stories have changed, and the body has changed, and the beliefs have changed. But the observer underneath it all is the same. So you, right now, listening to this, underneath your beliefs, and underneath your mind's attempts to make sense of reality, it's just the observer. It's the same observer from your 5th birthday party, because it was happening now. At the time you experienced it, it was right now. You are the observer in the present moment, and the present moment is this. It's always this. Every moment of your life is the present moment. So it's just one infinite present moment. It's not even a series of moments. It's just this. So we've been taught the time construct and the space construct, and so we believe we are, first of all, we believe we are a mistake. So we believe our very nature, we believe our very essence, at the very essence of our being, we believe we are just a pure coincidence. Some explosion happened and something randomly formed, and a rock turned into some sludge, and some sludge turned into a bacteria, and a bacteria turned into a whatever, a tadpole that turned into a fish, that turned into a frog, turned into a lizard, it turned into a squirrel, it turned into a monkey, it turned into a horse. But this was all just by chance. And we think we believe we are pure coincidence, no meaning, insignificantly small to the point of being non-existent, because we're in a infinitely vast space-time reality. So we're given these constructs, these infinite constructs, pretty much infinite constructs of space and time. Well, we don't actually experience time. Not really. We experience this present moment. We experience things happening. This present moment is always changing. The sun comes up and it goes down. There is day and night. But day and night move through the present moment. And space and time move through you. Or, as quantum physics is now considering, space and time are created, projected from you. So this present moment, and here's why the past and the future, here's another layer of why time is a distraction. First of all, we've never experienced the past or the future. But also, when we believe in this idea of an infinitely long timeline of past and future with this tiny, tiny, tiny little dot in the middle called you here now, we disregard the part of that infinitely long timeline and infinitely vast space. We disregard the point in space and time that is you here now, because we think we're an insignificant speck. But actually, that's been flipped on its head, that's been inverted. And the only place the past or future exists is in the mind right now. So this whole vast construct, this vast infinite construct, is an infinite construct of mind in you right now. You have the universe in your mind right now. You create it, you hold it in your mind right now. Everything is in you right now. Because if you look out of the window, how far can you see? You can see to the horizon. What happens after the horizon? Your mind takes over. So your five sense reality is real in the sense that you can feel it in the body. You experience it through the body. Everything else outside of what you can experience in the five senses right now, everything else is a construct of your mind, and that includes past and future, and that includes space. So space and time is a construct of your mind. It doesn't exist anywhere else. You don't experience it anywhere else. You carry around a universe within your mind, and you believe it to be real because you've been programmed that it's real. And I'm not saying it isn't real. It's real because you make it real, because it's a belief. It's a construct of mind. You carry it around, but where is it? Where is it? It's in your mind. And all the mind ever does is it replays the past. So it keeps retelling the story of your past, and it's just a story. And I don't mean it didn't happen, but what I mean is the moment something happens. So first of all, everything we experience with our five senses, by the time we experience it, it's done. It's the past. We are viewing the past in that sense. Or rather, the moment we tell a story about it, we are then in the past. We are in mind. We're no longer in the present moment of now. We are no longer the present observer. We've flipped into a state of mind. We've gone into the world of mind, where the only place the past exists, and it's stored in your body as a feeling, as a memory, as a trauma, as an emotion, with a story attached to it. And I'm not saying it's not real. It's real when it happens. But after it's happened, then it becomes a story. It's stored. It's stored in your cells. It's stored as a memory. It's stored as a feeling, it's stored as a story. And when you recall the memory, you feel it because it's stored in your cells. But it's only real because you retell it. And that isn't to say it didn't happen. What that is to say is that the past, right now, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. But the trap we've fallen into is to believe that we are, is to self-identify with our beliefs, and all of our beliefs come from the past. So as long as we continue to identify with the character we've built around our beliefs, we're living in the past and we're not in the present moment. And the past, the mind will replay the past thought loops over and over and over again, but we'll never ever learn anything new, because we are literally replaying a stored, we're watching a video, but we're reliving it, you could say, but we're recalling it, we're replaying it, we're reacting. It's all about the past. It's not real. It's not real. It's all mind. So this is what the mind does, because it's all it can do, because the mind is redundant in the present moment. The mind has nothing to do in the present moment. What is the mind needed for in the present moment? Because in the present moment, you're in your body, you're experiencing this present moment, this reality through your 5 senses. You're watching a sunset, you're smelling the sea, you're holding hands with your partner, you're feeling the grass. You're in the present moment. The mind isn't required. You don't need to recall your beliefs about anything to experience the present moment. You don't need to access a story of your character to watch a sunset. You don't need to remember anything. You are in the present moment. The mind is redundant. You don't need to plan ahead, create a hypothetical scenario about what you're doing next week. So the mind is redundant in the present moment, which is why all the mind will ever do is replay past thought loops or create future hypotheticals. And our role, and the only practice, is to become conscious, present creators. And the practice is in noticing when our present awareness, the observer that we are, has become captured by the activity of the mind and jumped on a thought train. And it's not a problem, it happens. It's become second nature. It's going to happen, but the practice is recognizing it happening, and it becomes a little easier each time. So there's one concept, and this changed everything for me the first time I ever heard these words, and I can't remember where I heard them, and I'd like to credit this. And this, I've dedicated a chapter of the book, my book, 10 Mindset Shifts It's for the Great Awakening. It's going to be available soon. You can download it from my website, tg-coaching.co.uk. I wrote it in 3 days. It flowed out of me. I've never written before. It was meant to be written. And it turns out it's a really good book. People have said it's life-changing. People have said to me, this book changed my life. It gets to the core of it's explaining complex concepts in simple language. I believe this book was meant to be written because it just came through me. I wasn't writing it. I didn't have to think. There was no thinking. I had an idea. I had a title, Shift. I suddenly realised I'd been coaching for long enough that I'd noticed the same patterns coming up again and again with loads of different people in the coaching space. I suddenly realised I had 10 mindset shifts. So I had 10 chapters and they just flowed out of me. So one of the chapters is called The Shift from, I think it's chapter 3 or 4, and it's the shift from thinker to observer. And the motto, the mantra, which changed everything for me, is you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of thought. So, and it takes a little bit of practice because we've become so identified with the activity of mind that we think we believe that mind chatter is us. It's not. It's just energy that your brain is trying to interpret or do something with, or it's just playing an old story on repeat. So the first step is you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of thought. Just start to pay attention to thought and recognize that you are the observer. And you don't have to follow these thoughts. You don't have to invest your energy in any of them. They are not you. They are not you. We assume that they are us because it seems like they arise from within us, but they're not. We're just receiving them. We're not necessarily the source of the thoughts. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and I would love to hear what's resonated, what's triggered, what you'd like more clarification on, what you'd like to challenge, and what you'd like to hear me explore in the next one. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Take care.